Hello everyone, Brother Alan Hensley here. And I just finished watching... Fuck. I just finished watching The Hunt 2020 movie. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but the female lead for the bad guy looks an awful lot like Saki. I know it ain't her, I think it's Mila Djokovic or something like that. But she does look a lot like Saki. Now, they use some key words that got me to thinking, so it's gonna be a little weird. Alright, they used words like deplorable and oh, you can't do that, and they use things like when someone said you guys, they were like, oh, that's misgender and you can't do that, and the guy apologized, oh, I'm sorry, I'm misgendered. Rapango. And you know, in the gas station scene where the guy says, oh, you can say black, she's like, well, according to who? NPR. Well, what's NPR? Mostly white people, so fuck it. You can't say fucking black people. Rapango. You know, for years, and I do mean years, hell, generations, Hollywood's been in bed with the government. Big time. Since WW2, actually. They've been in bed with the government. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theory, a crazy kook if you fucking want. I don't give a fuck. But knowing what I know, what paperwork I've seen when I was in the military, shit like that, I'd say there's a good chance that that's, if it hasn't happened yet, it's damn sure part of their fucking plan to get rid of patriots. Like me, and like all the others. You see, the liberals, the libtards, the Democrats, they want to keep control. Well, how do you keep control? Especially when you have internet, you have free speech, and you get people that are smart enough to see through the bullshit and can start fucking blowing up your spot. How do you keep control? You use all the tools at your disposal. In this case, Hollywood. You have them put out a movie like The Hunt. And basically what you're saying by doing that is, hey, if you say or do something we don't fucking like, we'll just kill you. We won't take out your family, we'll just kill you. We'll hunt you, take you to another country, hunt you, and kill you. Now, they used Croatia for the video. But they wouldn't have to go all the way to Croatia. They could go take you down to fucking South America, Central America, and there you go. It's a lot fucking closer. A lot fucking easier. And there's no refueling of an aircraft needed to do it. So, that gets me to thinking right there. And then you look at what's going on in society today. And if you take and you think about it, and you remember the Purge, and Purge 2, Anarchy, it's pretty much the logical progression. You know, you start with something like The Hunt, that doesn't go well, maybe the person who organized and started it, because they get the wrong motherfucker. So, well, fuck, now we can't do that because, well, everyone knows about it, right? So what do? Let's set a day aside and just let everybody kill everybody. Basically, the richer have the money, so they can hire bodyguards to go out and get people and kill them. Or they can pay someone lots and lots of money, as you know, have them come in voluntarily to get killed. You know, the thing about the government in Hollywood, they've always told you what the end game was, what their way down the line goal was. They just use Hollywood to do it so that you would think, it's just make-believe. Somebody wrote the story, somebody wrote the script, came up with the idea, and boom, there you go. Where the fuck would someone even think of something like that? From a book? Because there's a book where a rich guy hunts and kills people for sport. Some similarities between the hunt, but it wasn't for sport. The people in the hunt had gotten wind of an actual event that they were planning. They couldn't let it get out because it would damage the reputation, that of the administration. So they grab up all those people for the first one and take them out. But they grabbed one wrong person. And that's all it takes, is for them to grab one person that had no fucking idea and who don't give a fuck because now they're pissed. And they're dead. You see, I know different things due to service-related information I gathered, due to hacking when I was younger. But I know certain things. And I use common sense and logic to come to my conclusions. That being said, I'm not saying that they're planning this or that it's in the works or that it's going on now. I'm saying that it's potentially a long-term goal of theirs, because historically speaking, Hollywood has always been the public relations arm of the government. Now, that's not how it was originally supposed to be, but it's how it is. Same with the news media like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, you know, your local news affiliates, your local papers. The press was supposed to be the unofficial fourth branch of the government that kept all the other branches in check. However, that hasn't happened since 67, I think it is, with Operation Mockingbird. Since then, they've been part of the government. And look at what's going on now. You got all these people out there auditing cops, whatever. And you got cops telling them that it doesn't matter if they have a First Amendment right to do it. Really? It doesn't matter if they have a First Amendment right to do it. You see, the First Amendment guarantees us some things. Freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom to talk to our government and address complaints. Redress complaints is how they put it. Also gives us the freedom to assemble. Now, generally when you assemble, it's peaceful. And we have that right, we have that freedom. However, when it gets to the level that it got with the whole George Floyd shit and all the riots that were done there. That's no longer an assembly. That is now a riot. Case in point, Chicago this past weekend. I'm sure you've probably seen the video of the kids looting a 7-Eleven and spraying fire extinguishers and everything. Now, the mayor of Chicago, the guy that they voted into office, doesn't want to call it a mob scene because, well, mob has bad undertones to it and criminal enterprise and all that, they think. Well, that's what he says. Instead, he called it a gathering. Well, let's look at these two scenarios for a minute, shall we? A gathering is a bunch of people coming together with the same ideas, same ideals, and peacefully doing something. A chaotic fucking mob scene is when you get a bunch of people who just want to tear shit up and be anarchists coming together and tearing shit up and being anarchists and committing crimes. That's a mob scene. Point fucking blank. Now, I don't know y'all's level of education, y'all's level of intelligence. And I don't want to assume to know it because I don't know you like that. But I can safely say, for me, I get quite a high intelligence level. My IQ is real high. And I tend to use more of a logic brain than an imaginative one. That being said, it can make me a good detective, it can make me a damn good scientist, and it makes me a damn good soldier. But it also gets me in trouble because I look at something and I like to find the pattern in it. Pattern of movement, pattern of speech, pattern with what's going on versus what's being told to people. If you look for patterns, you'll find them. Good, bad, or indifferent, you'll always find a pattern if you look for it. And in this case, I wasn't looking for a pattern, actually. I just, I heard a lot of shit about the movie. Some good, some bad, but I heard a lot of shit about this movie. So I was like, you know what? I want to see this movie and judge it on its own merits just by me watching it and deciding for myself which way to go. And it's got its moments of intense action, and I like it. And it's got its areas of slowness and everything, but overall it's a good movie. But every person that they hunted, they did so because they were A, a patriot, B, exposing something the government didn't want exposed, or C, all the above. And I think there was one on there that was just a fucking wackadoo conspiracy nut job. But he didn't know that he was right about something and it got him killed. But the thing is this. Alright. How the fuck? Would they be able to do that? Well, simple. In the gas station scene, the guy says, he's got 7 guns at home. He knows how to handle a firearm. And the woman at the gas station behind the counter says, why do you need 7 guns? And he said, to protect myself if ever I'm attacked, like I am now. It's my constitutional right. And she tries to turn it around on him and say, well, the people that are hunting you are just practicing their constitutional right. No. practicing one's constitutional right does not mean that you're going to be doing shit to hurt other people. It means you are going to protect your fucking self against your government, if need be, and against your fellow citizen if they try to break into your fucking house. Now, that being said, what are they trying to do right now? What's the government trying to do right now? And a lot of states are succeeding, but a lot more they're losing. But what are they trying to do right now? Well, let's think about it. Aren't they trying to limit your amount of ammunition that your gun can carry? Aren't they trying to limit the kind of weapon you can own? I mean, shit, they're trying to say that an AR-15 is a weapon of war. And no, it's not. An M4 and AK-47, those are fully automatic weaponries. That means that when you squeeze that trigger and you roll it down, you will empty that fucking magazine. Alright? But they're trying to say that an AR-15, which, by the way, is not a weapon of war, it's a civilian version of the M4. And it's semi-auto, meaning one pull of the trigger, one bullet is fired. One pull of the trigger, one bullet is fired. No matter what, that's it on a stock AR-15. And the AR, just for those of you who may be libtards out there who don't know and are watching my video for the first time, the AR stands for Armor Light Rifle 15. Because it is the 15th variation of the original Armor Light Rifle, which looked like an M16. So, it's not a military weapon. You will never see an AR-15 in the hands of a military man or woman in combat. You will see an M4. And that, my friends, is a weapon designed and built specifically for war. And yeah, I smile when I say it because, well, there's something very cathartic about knowing that you can take out your enemy and go home and see your family. And they can't, because they tried to kill you. You see, the government, especially under Biden, who, by the way, if you do the numbers, there's no way he got 81 million votes. No way. Unless felons who lost the right to vote were allowed to, pets were allowed to, illegals were allowed to, dead family members were allowed to vote. Which, all of that is illegal. They can't do it. Which is why we stopped the mail-in ballots in the first place. And yes, it was a Supreme Court ruling that first stopped the mail-in ballots. But under the Chinese Wuhan coronavirus, when everybody had to be locked into their homes and they couldn't go anywhere, you got to shelter in place. They were allowed to use mail-in ballots, and people's dead animals, their dead relatives, felons, were all getting packets from the Democrat Party saying, vote for us. But that's another video. This video is about how the government has always used Hollywood to let the people know what they wanted to do. You see, if the government can strip us of our rights, then the government can do whatever the fuck they want, including being socialist. In that movie, there's a point where one of the bad guys is talking and she uses the phrase comrade. No, comrade is something that the Russians used to say meaning friend, or that you were one of them. So it's a communistic, socialistic term. Why would it be in an American movie if it's a communistic, socialistic term? Because they are trying to get everybody to buy into communism, where they can stay in power forever and a day. And if you think about it, you know, they're trying to get people to rat on each other, you know, which brings in the Running Man type of scenario. I mean, if you go back to the 90s, you can clearly see what the government's been planning to do all this time. You see, the Russians that we allowed to come in, because they said that they were persecuting all that over in Russia, we got them to come in. Well, some of them were, but a lot of them were playing the long game. They infiltrated our education system, and our education system has suffered. They infiltrated our entertainment industries, and our entertainment industries have suffered.
Yeah, just saying.
So, this isn't something that, you know, you could say is a conspiracy theory. If you look back throughout our history with entertainment, education, whatever, music, you can clearly see the infiltration, little by little, of the communistic, socialistic ideas. And it all comes down to destroying the bright, shining example on the hill for goodness and fairness in this world. See, America was always the one country that you were created equal in, that you had fairness in. You had the presumption of innocence before guilt. You had to be proven guilty, not you had to be proven innocent. You had to be proven guilty. Now in New York, they started a thing called the SAFE Act, where if someone who doesn't like you can run them out to a cop, and then a cop will run them out to a fucking judge and say, oh, well, they said this, and that's disturbing, and they might hurt themselves, so we gotta take their weapons. And then they gotta prove that they're able to have them. Wait a minute, that goes against the Second Amendment of the Constitution, and it goes against our Constitution. Which means that it's an unconstitutional law, which means it's an illegal law, which means it doesn't have to be fucking followed. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled this, but yet New York just repackaged it and called it the Safe Harbor Act. Same fucking thing. Exact same. I should know, I've been a victim of it. But it is what it is. Alright. That's over, that's done with, that's gone, bye-bye, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. No problem, I move forward in life. But, see, if they can limit the number of people that have weapons, or who have access to weapons, even if they have the proper training, if they don't have access to them, then it's no big deal. Because, hey, they don't have access to weapons, which means they think it means we can't fight back. But there's a lot of room because there's a lot of things out there that will hurt you that are not firearms. Just saying. But yeah, look in, do your own research and do everything I've said. Tell me what you think. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.